Chucky Okobi back with basic instructions. So I'm watching this video posted on social media and it really spoke to me on a personal level deep down. I imagine that many of you listening now have heard the story of the snake and the saw. I just recently heard this and it really reminded me of basic instructions. I really connected as I listened at an even deeper level. So allow me to share the story with you now and I'll go even deeper into it. One night, a snake, looking for food, entered a carpenter's workshop. The carpenter, he wasn't the tidiest or most organized fella, and he had left several of his tools lying around on the floor, one of them being a saw. As the snake went round and round the shop, it climbed over the saw, which gave it a little cut. Immediately, believing that the saw was attacking it, the snake turned around and bit it so hard its mouth started to bleed. And this made the snake very angry. So the snake decided to wrap itself around the saw as if to suffocate it with its whole body. Now, as the snake squeezed the saw, the snake got hurt even more. The more the snake was cut, the angrier he felt. And so the snake thought it had to squeeze even harder to show the saw who's boss. And this went on until one of them lost the battle. The next morning, when the carpenter entered his workshop, he was surprised to find a dead snake cut in half and a bloody saw. The point of this story speaks directly to basic instruction number 1, let go of the past. For me, there's a couple of things I take from this story. First, the snake had the most innocent of intentions. He was just looking for food. He wasn't looking for a fight. He didn't want any trouble. He could have never imagined that the search for tonight's dinner would cost him his entire life. Another thing, we all know that a saw is a lifeless object. The saw did not intentionally mean to harm the snake. Yet, the snake was so angry, he attempted to punish the saw for having wronged him. Little by little, as he grew more angry and intensified his attack on the saw felt nothing, and the snake eventually perished. Now take a moment and think about the times in your experience that you behaved just like that snake, letting negative emotions cloud your judgment, dictate your behavior, all of which only led to your own detriment. Basic instructions is all about learning to let things go. It's about stopping that negative story that's going on in your mind, like a vinyl record spinning round and round, repeating those stories over and over. Maybe not you, but we all know someone who is right now dwelling on the business partner who you believe wronged you, the former spouse who you feel robbed you of your dignity, or the circumstances that led you to experience loss that you could have never foreseen. When our thoughts, our motives, our behaviors are driven by anger and negative emotions that we hold on to, as if holding that grudge will continue to punish those that hurt us. Just like I imagine the snake was feeling as he squeezed the saw, we're the ones feeling the pain as we let that anger drive us, and eventually we end up being the ones whose life is ruined. Think about it. How many times have we held on to anger or pain, held on to a grudge against someone with a python-like grip to the point that our life, our relationships, our happiness, our peace of mind are irreparably damaged? Learning to let go of negative emotions, I'll admit, it can appear to be a challenge for many people. Maybe you've been holding on to that pain or grudge for a while, believing you can never let it go. That's what learning the basic instructions is all about. Learning what you don't know, the basic steps that will allow you to easily and effortlessly let go. I think we can all agree the snake would have been much better off when he was first cut. Instead of fighting back in anger, he would have just let it go, literally and figuratively. Success is simple if you know the basic instructions.